the new 11.0.0 patch, one of the big questions left unresolved by the patch notes is how exactly the flow aura state gets triggered. It's shown in the video to occur when a player gets a triple, but playing the game has incidentally shown us that's far from the only case when it can happen. Enter Diem, a data miner who's been able to dig into the game and figure out exactly how it's coded so we can play around the new mechanic better. All the information about flow aura in this video is thanks to their work. As we've suspected, Flow Aura State gives the exact same bonus gear perks as Opening Gambit, those being 30 AP each of Intensify Action, Run Speed, Swim Speed, and Ink Resistance. It still works within the usual limits, where a player cannot go above 57 AP of any one ability. There's a hidden system of points a player accumulates in several different ways, and a player needs to reach a threshold of these points, which Diem calls flow points, in order to get into the flow aura state. The fastest way to get those flow points is by getting splats, but you can also get them by scoring assists or painting. We'll get into those details in a minute. You need 100 points to be able to activate the state, with a couple exceptions we'll talk about later. But you don't just automatically enter flow state once you reach 100. You need to have 100 points, and then also get a splat to activate it. You can get up to 200 aura points if you never get a splat to activate them, but that's where they cap, except in Tricolor Turf War, where attackers have a cap of 180, and defenders have a cap of 220. Once you activate the flow aura state, though, it will always reset back to 0, no matter how many you had when you activated it. To compound the challenge of getting the state, you automatically lose flow points at a rate of 1/5 of a point per second, which increases to 3.3 points per second if you go for a stretch of 5 seconds without gaining any flow points. Your odds are going to be better if you're active in the game, at least painting the map before you get that splat. Once you're in the flow state, it will last for 30 seconds, but splats or assists will add 10 seconds to the timer. This is actually different from Opening Gambit, at least if we believe Wikipedia's numbers, for which a splat or assist adds 15 seconds instead of just 10. Much the way the timer on the Clamblitz basket works, that 30-second timer is a hard ceiling. Getting a splat with 26 seconds left on your timer will only reset you up to that cap of 30, not to 36 like you'd otherwise expect. To get into the specific numbers, splats by default will get you 23 flow points, but there are a few possible ways that can change. After all, if they only give 23, a triple wouldn't put you in flow state like it does in the trailer. If you get a splat after already having splatted someone within the last 5 seconds, the second splat will get you 43 points instead of 23 points. In the triple from the trailer then, the player got 23 from the first, 43 from the second, putting them at 66 total, and then another consecutive splat put them over the threshold of 100. However, once you reach 75 flow points, the amount splats are worth decreases. A splat by itself, usually worth 23, drops to 15. So if you're not getting multiple elims in a row, you really need to get a splat once you're above 85 flow points to activate it. Even the bonus you get for a spree drops from 43 to 35, though at 75 this will still be enough to get you across the line. The only reason the 43 versus 35 point difference might matter is if on a future patch the devs decide to adjust the threshold where it changes from 75 points to something else. Like the cap on your flow points overflow, these numbers are different in Tricolor Turf War to adapt to that mode's asymmetry. Attackers only need to reach 90 flow points to activate the flow aura state, and what's normally a 75 point threshold where they score fewer points per splat turns into a 65 point threshold. Defenders need to get up to 110 flow points, and they score fewer points per splat starting at 85. You can also get 10 extra flow points if the splat you get is the first one of the lobby, or if the player you splatted had flow aura themselves. Outside of just splats, you can also get 3/5 of a flow point for every 10p you paint in a ranked mode, and 4/5 of a flow point for every 10p you paint in Turf War. Like we've said, turfing should help offset the constant loss of points if you're at least staying alive and staying active in the game. You also gain flow points from assists, And one interesting revelation here is that the kind of assist you get actually changes how many flow points you get. If all you did was tag someone with a point sensor or give a player on your team Tacticooler, non-damaging ways of earning assists, the game only rewards you with 4 flow points. Dealing damage to contribute to a splat, on the other hand, gives you 14 flow points instead. You lose flow points by getting splatted, 5 if it's caused by an enemy, 10 if it's caused by a stage hazard. Finally, while all these parameters are currently set to 0, meaning they don't have any impact in the version of the game we're currently playing, there is a way for devs to reward players with flow points for playing ranked objectives. Painting zone, breaking open the clam basket, scoring clams, both scoring points and breaking checkpoints in Rainmaker and Tower Control, and both attempting and securing the Ultra Signal in Tricolor could provide extra flow points in future patches. For now, I'll leave most of the implications of these numbers for the community to puzzle out for themselves instead of trying to leave you with advice for how to play around these. Really, the best advice may well be not to think about it too hard and to play the game normally so you don't get distracted from taking good fights at good times. What I will tell you to do, though, is go follow DM on Blue Sky so you can tell them thank you for figuring this out for us.